Okay, hello everyone, how are you today? It's Kay. I hope you're having a great weekend today. So, just quickly introducing myself because I know there are new members here. My name is Kay and I am a full-time Japanese Forex trader who is living in Dubai from this July. Before I was in Japan, Tokyo, but now I'm living in Dubai. And this channel is all about using Ichimoku's spot trends and reversals and to improve your trades. And the goal for this channel is to help you become a non-losing trader. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video session or the live stream session. So today is Saturday. This is the 21st of August. So every Saturdays I cover the topic about psychology. So today's Saturday, so psychology or money management topics I cover every week because the markets are closed anyways. So I think it's a good timing to talk about the psychology. Okay, so let's start. Before starting here, just a quick disclaimer. This information today is basically based on my own understanding knowledge. So when you take trades, please do add in risk. And if you can please follow the guidelines or rules on this live stream on the chat, that would be great. So today's topic on Saturday is about motivation. As the title says, today's topic is about to keep secret of keeping motivation that 95% of traders mistake. So first of all, how do you keep motivation? Like whether you are a full-time trader or a part-time trader, and if you are taking trades for a long time, how do you keep motivation is the question. So, because if you lose motivation, for sure, you can't keep trading, and the market goes up and down, and this week has been very good, but previous weeks, previous month has been a bit difficult. So when you have consecutive losses, it might decrease, it might let you down. So keeping motivation is a bit difficult, especially in Forex traders or especially in this tradings world. I think it's very difficult, and also it's a key also to success in the long run. So since today's topic is motivation, I created a slide as usual. So this is like a memo and a slide, but hopefully you can understand what I try to say for this day's live stream. So secret of keeping motivation. But before doing that, there was a question on the poll on the YouTube community and also Twitter. I posted the poll. So the question is, you're standing at the top of the hill and watching the ocean, and what do you see near the horizon? And it is a question, and the choices are dolphins, islands, cruisers, and sunset. If you haven't voted yet, please do in your head and listen to today's live stream. And as a result, I got 467 votes on YouTube and also 54 votes on Twitter, and it looks like the most we have is sunset. The most we have is sunset on both YouTube, Twitter, and the second most is going to be islands on Twitter and YouTube, and dolphins, YouTube has the third, and also cruisers on the last on YouTube, and Twitter, cruisers on the third and dolphins on the last. So this is about the personality question. So if you haven't done it yet, please think about it in your head, and I will talk about the result at the end of this live stream today. So first, let me talk about the motivation, and this is also what I practice. I have no idea how many times I felt like quitting the tradings, because previously I was losing. Of course, I blew up account once and I lost half of the account on the second account. So every time these things happen, my motivation level decrease. And also before, whenever I had losses, especially I had consecutive losses, it actually decreased motivation. So I think motivation is very important to keep it up. So to have the motivation up and going, you have to have a sense of the growth. Sense of growth meaning that small wins and small losses. So small wins and small losses, not in terms of profits, but also in terms of the sense of learning. You have to have small wins and small losses in learning process. And that's what growth means. So you better focus on small things to keep the motivation up and going. Because sometimes, whenever you try to create some goal, you might create a big goal. Like your goal right now could be, let's say, to become a full-time trader, to become a profitable trader, to support your family, to support your friends, to support yourself, to leave the company and be your own boss. These can be the goal for as a trader in general. But I would say that these are a bigger goal. But you have to focus on small goals, small things to keep the motivations up and going. And let me tell the reason why based on the research at the Harvard University today. So there was a research by Teresa Amabile at Harvard University, and she collected 7 companies. She did research on 7 companies, 238 business persons, and she has monitored the level of motivation for 12,000 hours. 12,000 hours of very long time. But in this very long time, she monitored the level of motivation for the business persons. And to make the long story short, what she found was that the sense of growth and sense of going forward, meaning sense of thinking out new ideas and thoughts, is critical to keep the motivation going. Because whenever these businessmen had the sense of thinking out new ideas and new thoughts in the projects or on the what they do on the works, it actually made their motivations up and going. So you can search by the name Teresa Amabile. She's very famous in terms of motivation researches, so you can find many articles about hers. But this is the live stream for the Forex traders, so I'm kind of making everything kind of short. And this is like my memos, so sometimes it might not gonna be making sense, but you can just listen to my words and just enjoy today's live stream. So yeah, the sense of thinking out, sense of like coming up with like new ideas and new thoughts, sense of like creativity, really helped the businessmen to move the motivation up and going. So, and there was also another research done by her about coffee stamps. This is also one of my very famous researches done by her. It was done on the 2010. So she split into 2 groups, and group A gets 10 coffee stamps and get 1 free coffee. So, everybody has the stamp for the coffee shop, and when you collect 10 stamps, meaning that when you drink 10 coffees and you fill 10 stamps in the coffee stamp, and then you get 1 free coffee. And that is group A. And group B is get 12 coffee stamps and get 1 free coffee. So in the stamp card, you have 12 stamps. And when you fill 12 stamps, then you get 1 free coffee. But 2 stamps in these 12 stamps already on the stamp card. So basically, you fill 10 stamps and you get one free coffee. It's the same, but the only difference is whether you already started with 2 stamps ahead on group B or nothing on the group A. And the results show that the group B filled the stamps much faster than group A. So this is also the example of the starting the small motivations, because for those who get this group B, got the stamp, already stamped 2 stamps in the stamp card, and it actually created the motivation to keep up and going. So the group B filled the stamps faster than group A. And this is also very interesting. So, and this is also another reason why small things can affect the huge result over time. And here's another research. She picked 700 business owners and bosses and managers, and she found that 95% made a mistake about employees' motivation. They thought that, they means the bosses or business owners. They thought that the more they pay and encourage the employees, the more the employees get motivation. But the result was wrong, actually. Actually, the employees needed the small wins to keep the motivation up and going. So small wins, meaning once again, the sense of creativity, the sense of thinking out new ideas and new thoughts. Creativity is the key here. So you don't have to achieve a big goal. The goal setting is important to find your own pathway towards the goal on what you're doing. But motivation is like a fuel. So in that sense, the goal setting and motivation doesn't really correlate. It doesn't really relate with each other. But what relates the most to motivation is the small wins or small improvements over time. And this is basically what I do every time I take trades, every time I look back my own trades, every time I set the goal for the year in January. I create these goals in terms of this mindset. So small wins every day to keep motivation up and going. And this is the main idea that I wanted to share today. Because we tend to set and achieve big goals. We want to become millionaire or billionaire. We want to become a profitable trader. You want to become a successful trader, full-time trader. And this might be a big goal for you. Might be. So, but instead of setting the goals like that and every day, you have to set the goals with the small wins to keep up the motivation. So, for example, set small goals every day. For example, master Kijun-sen this week, or master engulfing breakout today, or simply be able to draw lines today, or make sure to count the number of candles this week, like this. These are very basics, seems to be very simple and very easy to do, but this is also important for motivation. And in this way, you can keep up and going. Even if you're losing, you can keep up and going in this way. So when I was still a newbie in tradings, of course my dream was to become a full-time trader, and of course be successful. I wanted to leave the job and leave the full-time job and become a full-time trader. But even after becoming a full-time trader, it's still difficult to keep the motivation up and going, because every day, every week, every month, and every year, the markets are different. So we have to adapt this changing environment. So no matter how many times, how many hours, or how many days I spend to learn Ichimoku Kinko-hyo or to learn price action or anything in the past, sometimes it doesn't apply in the future markets. And that created fear, a big fear. I mean, that created a big fear for myself, and sometimes I felt like quitting the Forex trading because I thought it's too stressful, especially when I was losing. It was too stressful because I learned so much. I read the original books, I read everything, but I would still lose. So that was very discouraging and disappointing. But looking back, I was disappointed because my goal was to become a successful and profitable trader. So after these losing years, I switched my mindset. Instead of focusing on making profits every week, every day, or every month, my focus became to master one thing at a time, to master or to set small goals every day. So one of my goals, looking back when I was a newbie, one of my goals was to check chart 3 times per day. That's it. I don't have to win, I don't have to trade, but my goal was to check chart 3 times per day, and that's it. And I do this 1 week, and then on the next week, let's say my goal is going to be to check charts by Kijun-sen only. And the next day or next week, my goal is going to become, so let's check Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen only, like this. So little by little, these small goals I set and I achieve these goals. And of course, I became full-time trader and I became pretty good trader for now. But without these small wins or small sense of wins every day, I couldn't be doing this up until now, because if I still focus on the winning trades and winning profits every month, if that would be the only focus for myself up until now, I wouldn't be doing this every day. And same is true for this live stream. Same is true because I do these live streams every day or almost every day, unless anything happens in my life. I do this every day. I upload the videos every day on my YouTube channel and do live streams every day. And I can do this because I improve little by little in my mind. So like this Saturday's live session about psychology is something new for myself. I do researches before the live stream starts, and I talk about it and share this information based on my experience as a trader. And this is something new for myself. And every time I do this, I take a memos on what to improve and what to how can I improve my talks, how can I organize, and how can I be more effective on these talks. I do these memos and I improve every week. Behind the scenes, I do this. So, and this actually keeps my motivation up and going. So, but if my focus is to share the correct and to correct and precise knowledge to you, then I might not gonna be able to do this every day, because my focus becomes to perfect the presentation, to perfect the live streams, and that might become a stressful for myself. But because my motivation for this is to improve small improvements every time I do the live streams, I can do this every day and every week on my YouTube channel. And it is for you also. It is for help you to become a non-losing trader, but also it helps me to understand the concept, to understand what I really think about, because unless I talk out, I never know what I think about. So this is also good for me. It's for both ways. But this is very important. So today's main message is to small wins every day to keep motivations. So if you haven't set the small wins, small goals every day or every week, please think about it and write down from now and try to practice it from next week. So, in conclusion, focus on small wins or small goals. Well, she says small wins. Teresa says small wins, and that's why I use this word small wins. But you can set up small goals and achieve these small goals every day. It doesn't have to be profit. You can just launch TradingView 3 times per day. That can be a goal also. Or if you are so depressed, you can just say turn on the PC at least once per day. That can be a goal too. It doesn't have to be a big goal, but you can do these small goals to eventually achieve these bigger goals. So focus on small wins, small goals is one. And also set small goals every day, every week, and achieve them over time. Achieve them over time. Yeah. And also, for example, if you master one thing per day, you will master 30 things by the end of the month. And you will see the power of it. And for example, diet, she talks about diet, and in terms of diet, you might think about losing 10 kilograms or losing 5 kilograms. And that might become a big goal. And along the way, you might eat too much, you might be gaining weight a bit, and you might get stressed. So for example, you can set the goal diet 100 grams only per day is a good small wins. So it doesn't have to be big, but you can set these small goals every day, every week, until you achieve the big goal is today's topic. So returning to this result of the boat from last week. So once again, the question was, you are standing at the top of the hill and watching the ocean. What do you see near horizon? So here is the analysis. This is about the personality analysis. And here is a rough kind of answer to this. Those who pick up dolphins. Dolphins is a symbol of freedom. So you like to be free. Your personality is like freedom, free. So learn to focus and have grit. Because you might become too free sometimes that you go here and there, and you might lose focus at one time. So in terms of goal setup, you can sit down for maybe 10 minutes or maybe 30 minutes in front of the screen per day, and that can be a goal for you from next week. Yeah. So stay focused every time you take trades. Only show up the screen on the chart, and that's it. That's it. You never placed other screens. You only place the chart on the screen, and that's it. For 30 minutes, you do this every day, and that can be a goal for next week. And for those who pick up islands is the symbol of independency. So for those who pick up islands is a bit independent personality. So at the same time, you might be a bit centered in yourself. So you might not be open to new information. So next week, your goal is going to be learn new information every day. It doesn't have to be many information. You can just learn one thing, one small information every day, and you write memos about what you learned every day, and that can be your goal for next week. It doesn't have to be lots of information or big information. It can be very small information, maybe about candlestick patterns, maybe about lines, Fibonacci levels, or Ichimoku Kumo itself. Learn to something new every day next week. Is going to be the goal for those who pick up islands. And for those who pick cruisers, this is a symbol of family or corporation. So it's corporative. So for those who pick up cruisers, next week goal is to be decisive and visionary. So this is like sometimes you might be afraid of make decisions by your own. So next week, try to make decisions by your own, alone, without asking help for anybody else. Like it can be small, like when you go to a restaurant and pick up something, order food, instead of listening to others, instead of listen to others' suggestions, try to make decisions by your own. Or when you take trades, you might be looking some signals, you might be looking at some copy trades. But next week, be decisive and take trades on your own terms every day. And that can be a goal for you. And for those who choose sunset, sunset was the most on this result from last week. Sunset on YouTube and Twitter. YouTube was 67%, Twitter was 68.5%. It was the most. So sunset is a symbol of self-affection. Self-affection. So learn to have a goal, achievement skills. So for those who sunset, you are a very acceptable person, and you admit yourself your level of self-esteem is pretty high. So next week, goal achievement skills. So for you, the goal can be anything. You can just pick up small goals and try to achieve every day next week. So it can be, once again, Kijun-sen would be the topic for one day, and next day topic might be price action, and next day topic might be only engulfing breakout towards upwards, for example. And on the next day, engulfing breakout towards downwards. And you can accumulate these experience knowledges every day next week. But these small steps are very important, and that's what I wanted to mention today. The main topic for today is to have small wins and small goals to achieve every day or every week next week. So yeah, basically that's the main topic for today. So yeah, let me come back to some comments now. We have about 15 to 20 minutes. So let's do some free discussion. So I hope you enjoyed today's live session. And I do this every week. So when you happen to find the poll on the YouTube and Twitter, you can just one click and join the Saturday session like this every week. And I give some market analysis tomorrow, because tomorrow I usually do the Sunday's weekly forecast, but today, Saturday, is about psychology or money management. So if you can share your losing experience or frustrating experience from last week, that would be great on the chat. Let's talk about some psychology or risk management topics for today. We tend to focus on the strategies, or which market to be in the trades, which one to buy or sell, and which one to exit. But this risk management in psychology is also very important. So yeah, once again, thank you for joining, everyone. Great to see you on this relaxing Saturday. Let me come back to some comments now. All right, I see many comments now also. Thank you for joining. Very great. Okay, sounds and camera is great. Okay, great. That's good to hear. Yeah, I made sure that I turn on this camera and microphone on today. Okay, reading books and watching videos is helping me, and I look and long run, not short-term profit or loss. Yep, always have to think things in the long term. So, in terms of backtest, I would say 100 times of backtest is necessary to see the result. And always focus on the universal numbers like profit factor and R multiple, or these are win rate, drawdowns. These are universal numbers. And your focus should not be how much you win, how much you lose, because it depends on how much you have, and also it depends on how big your lot sizings are. All right, good to see you everyone. Thank you for joining. So I hope your trades were very good from last week. I see some nice reports from last week. Looks like traders got some nice pips by following Ichimoku trend analysis, so that's good to hear. Oh, Rhodes says, thanks Kay, this came on time as I was struggling to stay motivated. Yep. I think it's a good timing for those who are struggling on these trades. Ray says, watching Kay's video is one of my methods to keep up my trading motivations. That's good to hear. Yep. Feel free to join at any time. In case you miss it, everything's saved in our archive, so you can watch archive later on. On either way, you can enjoy my talks and lives. So, yeah, make sure to keep the goals small. At least for me, it worked. So for you, I'm sure it works as well. Michela says, I really needed this topic today. Thank you for making this. You're welcome. Gabriel says, I think it's important to also set rewards for those small wins as well. That's true. If you can watch chart 3 times per day, then you can have a nice meal, for example. Yeah, these small rewards also good. It works. All right. Yeah, Ray, you're welcome. You're welcome here. Yeah, this is live stream. It's a live stream, so you can comment on the chat. All right. Yeah, you're welcome, everyone. I see many comments. Thank you for that. David says, hi Kay, what if I see everything in horizon? Everything, like a sunset with a cruiser going by some islands and dolphins alongside. That means you are a dreamer. You are a dreamer. You have a nice sense of imagination. Okay, you chose sunset, okay. Yeah, myself, I chose sunset too. Yeah, because ocean in the horizon reminds me of sunset when I was in Los Angeles. Okay. Please keep going this theme every week. Sure, I will keep going this every week. Yes, so every week, this is a topic about psychology. Okay, so I guess I will be ending the live stream for now. So once again, thank you for joining, everyone. It was very nice to see you. So for those who are joining public, I will see you tomorrow on this weekly forecast. And for those who are joining Ichimoku membership, I will see you on the Ichimoku membership live stream anytime soon. So I hope you have a great weekend. And yeah, I hope you have a nice days every day and nice trading days every day next week as well. So, oh, hold on. I start to see many comments now. Let me cover this. MGRYGA says, how to deal with the fear of losing trades. I lost money in the past and now it's difficult for me to enter the trade, even with clear signals. How to deal with the fear of losing trades is should be backed up by the result of your backtesting. But if your losses are more than average, then you have to backtest again, because you might be picking up some nice market that your strategy worked in the past. So you might want to pick up some other markets in the past and backtest on your own strategy. So, and make sure you have max losses when you backtest. You might have max profits, max consecutive wins, but at the same time you have to have max consecutive losses. Otherwise, if you don't know how many losses will be maximal to be acceptable. Pink says, to become an expert and at something, you have to practice every day and repeat the action over and over again until it becomes instinctive. Yeah, that's true. And that's called wisdom. Yeah. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. Jay says, small gains make mighty wholesome. Yeah, that's true. Small gains can achieve a big win eventually. Jabriel says, I realize that considering time helps psychology. Okay, if I understand where we are in the time cycle, it supports my risk psychology and emotional management, which makes for better risk management. That's true. Yeah. If you can plot the time cycles in the future in advance, then that helps psychology as well. Or focus lines. The focus lines can be helpful also. Yeah, Katarina says, Kay, I would add that if you have a bad day with regards to your mental health and you don't trade for a day or two, that's okay. Get back on board again when you feel better. Don't give up. That's true. That's true, Katarina. Yeah. You don't have to take trades. You don't have to see charts every day. If you force yourself to do it, then it might create more frustrations, especially when you can't do it, you might get frustrated. So yeah, just come back to charts whenever you can and don't give up is the key. That is very true. Yeah, Ray and Arara, you're welcome here. Yeah, MG, please backtest and come up with some stats in terms of how many consecutive losses are acceptable on your backtest. All right, Jay says, every trader has had a drawdown. Markets teach you to control your losses, profits automatically follow. That's true. Yeah, so that's why I say help you become a non-losing trader. Because unless you become a non-losing trader, you can't become profitable in the long run. So this is also, from my experience, is that before I was thinking to become a profitable trader, and I tend to focus on losses. But when I start to focus to become a non-losing trader, then I don't focus so much on losses. and I don't so much focus on the profit either. And then I become objective to the markets and results, and overall profit became bigger. So this is also about psychology. Alright, so yeah, once again, thank you for joining, and I will see you in the next one. So yeah, looks like the COVID case is still increasing worldwide, so I hope your family and friends, everybody is healthy and in a good condition. I pray from Dubai. So once again, thank you for joining, and see you in the next one. Until then, please stay healthy, stay safe, and stay gold. Right, bye for now. Mata ne. Thank you.